Good morning once again, and you are watching Sunrise at Sea. Now, if you missed Twitter Jabs Part 1, you are right in time for Part 2. And the theme for these Twitter Jabs this morning is the upcoming holidays. The holidays are quite upon us, and we want to know, like, what is the security like during this holiday season? And this is our second Christmas trying to navigate a pandemic. Yes, we were still going through a pandemic last year. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. And in studio with me, I have a very special gentleman. He's the Assistant Superintendent of Police, Mr. Luke Owe. I was trying to pronounce this name before. Can you please correct me, sir? I see it on your uniform. But
well, my name is Luke Owe Sigire.
Owe Sigire. What does it mean?
Trust, someone you trust.
Interesting. Isn't that interesting to have him, and his name is Trust, so we definitely should trust you. Yeah, he is the spokesperson of Kampala Metropolitan Police. It's good to have you, sir. I'm
very delighted to be amidst you also.
We are so delighted. So anyways, let's look at the mandate of the police force in Uganda, according to the Constitution and the Police Force Act, Cap 303, and it says that your mandate is to protect life and property, prevent and detect crime, and make sure there is law and order in the country, and most of all, security and public safety. Yes. So my question is, during this festive season, from this weekend, people are going to be traveling up country, and considering the Lungala bus explosion that happened on October 25th, yeah, in PG district, how is the police going to ensure this public safety for the citizens?
Well, first and foremost, it is very unfortunate that we are having our second Christmas in a pandemic. I know Ugandans, being Ugandans, are people who like merrymaking.
Yes.
And being out there to have fun.
Yes.
But unfortunately for us, it won't happen this time around for the second time. But nevertheless, we will try to work within the regulations that have been set by government, especially the Ministry of Health, to guide us through until next year, January 1st, where we believe, of course, the President will be expected to make some announcements on what we should, on how we are going to take our lives into the second, into 2022. We are hopeful that everything will be open and businesses will go back to normal like they have been, but of course, not forgetting that we still have a pandemic in our countries that surround us, and our brothers even in Europe are still struggling with the pandemic, but they're trying to live with it. So we are hopeful that there will be measures that will, of course, help us go through the next year with the pandemic. Of course, our mandate, of course, like you've put it out there, first of all is to make sure that our Ugandans are safe within the country. We don't have a mandate that reaches beyond Uganda.
Yes.
If you're in South Sudan, we don't have a mandate of protecting you as Uganda police. That can only be left with ministries, foreign ministries, and other diplomatic aspects that have been put in place. So our mandate is to make sure that we protect Ugandans within the country and their property. And likewise, making sure that Ugandans live through 2021 without COVID is also part of that mandate, because the Public Health Act was also put into place, and we are acting on it. All these things you see, curfew, motorcycles stopping at around 6, are all enforcements from the Public Health Act. And we are appealing to Ugandans, yes, this is a time we are used to merrymaking. Let's not break the pot when we are reaching the what? They say, with the interest of your home. So let's be patient for these remaining few days and make sure that the curfew guidelines are adhered to, making sure that if people are traveling to their relatives in the countryside, make sure that you're going to be a safe person when you reach towards them, because it is not also proper for you to bring COVID from Kampala to the village, and also appealing to those that haven't taken the jab to go and take it, because last I heard, the ministry was saying they have over 14 million vaccines still stuck with them. So let's go out there, take this jab, and make sure that we protect ourselves from COVID.
You had the gentleman, sorry to cut you short, sir. You had the gentleman, you have to be vaccinated. Yeah, you have to be vaccinated. But I'm wondering, sir, how exactly is the police going to make sure, for example, people are not overloading cars, yeah, as they go to the village, because people are going to overload.
Yes.
And also another thing is, how are they going to make sure that people are adhering to the SOPs in transit? Yeah, is there social distancing? Definitely, if the cars are parked, there is no social distancing. So how is the police going to mitigate this?
We wouldn't want to, you know, people going out there for Christmas festivities is a time where we have a lot of traffic jam on our roads, especially on Masaka Road and also Ginger Road.
Yes.
We always have a lot of traffic jam. And we wouldn't want to be put in a scenario where we are supposed to stop every vehicle for checks. So what we are doing as the line security, the first security, which is the police, to make sure that our officers are deployed within these bus terminals.
Yes.
Making sure that all the SOPs are followed and adhered to, of hand washing.
So there are going to be police representatives.
They will be within
on
the
site,
parks.
within the bus park,
the bus parks, not
and
in
on
the
highways
buses.
as well.
Yes, and on highways. So when we have to make sure that people entering the buses wash their hands, and also the security guidelines that were put in place, given the fact that we are still having threats surrounding us of terrorism.
Yes.
To make sure that cargo is checked.
Yes.
And people move. So on our highways, we will be singling out, of course, those that will be having quite a lot of passengers, especially those that are not designated by the Ministry of Health. And those, of course, will be told to disembark.
Yeah.
And in the process, that, of course, becomes a hindrance to whoever will be traveling.
That's true.
So we are calling upon members of the public to follow these guidelines. We wouldn't want to inconvenience anyone during this festive season, to make sure that you're carrying the designated number of passengers you're supposed to carry, and also put in place of making sure that your passengers don't contact the COVID-19 disease.
Yeah.
So basically, security-wise, there have always been measures in place for for travelers. Checkpoints have always been there, especially for the buses, and we are appealing to anyone traveling to be on the lookout of our checkpoints. Don't just ram into our checkpoints. That is something that we have had in the past, people ramming into our checkpoints.
Oh, wow.
We are also appealing to members of the public to report bad drivers. Of course, the Traffic and Road Safety Act is available, and we shall be charging careless drivers using that act. And there are numbers that have been provided by the Directorate of Traffic. Remember last week we held a press briefing where we provided those numbers, and we are appealing to members of the public to report to those people specifically. We have put measures in place of speed guns, making sure that people are moving on the
right speed limit.
The right speed limit, and those that, of course, will go beyond that will be held accountable. And we shall be penalizing people there and then.
You had that you're going to be penalized.
You won't need to first go reach home and then you pay our fines. No, we give you a fine, which is an EPS ticket. You go pay it, come and take your vehicle if you're found in contravention of the laws that govern the traffic. Okay,
switching gears. There are going to be people here in Kampala as well, and also in the villages and everywhere, especially because it's Christmas. Places of worship, leisure, restaurant, even bars, yeah? So how are we going? First of all, I would like to ask, places of worship, yeah? So we have a particular number. Is it 200 people in the church? Yes. And there might be a surge of people. So how are religious leaders going to work with the police to ensure that, first of all, people are being checked, second of all, SOPs are going to be observed, yeah, and also the people who are going to go to bars, they should go during the day, yes, because curfew has to be adhered to. It has to be adhered to because of obvious security reasons and also COVID-19, yes?
Actually, the current language, they don't say bars, they call them
yes,
restaurants.
like,
so.
yeah, restaurants, bistros. Yes.
They call them restaurants because bars are still open whether it is during day or night, so
yeah.
they're still closed. Yes, we have instructed our territorial commanders to make sure that they support the churches and gathering places in their premises through sharing intelligence information with the line security officers available, and also providing visible personnel,
yes.
especially around churches, to help with access control, that whoever will be accessing this church premise will be searched thoroughly to make sure that they are not bringing in items that might be of any danger to any person that will be having their service. So that is how we are prepared to handle that, to make sure that places of gathering, which gatherings are supposed to be within the limit that was provided by the Ministry of Health of 200 people.
Yes.
There should be personnel from the police that are available, guarding, and also in charge of access control of these premises.
Okay. And people, bars are still closed, so you can go to restaurants up to 7 p.m.
Yes.
But I would like to ask you, sir, after that bomb blast that happened in Lungala, yes, on the 25th of October, on the 26th of October, the U.S. Embassy issued a statement, yeah, to U.S. citizens in Uganda, and they asked them to be very vigilant because there are imminent domestic terror attacks that are going to happen. So my question is, how is the police going to detect and prevent, yeah, because prevention is better than, it's better to be proactive than to go through everything. So how can we be assured as citizens of Uganda that, you know what, the police has got this, like we are good?
Well, though no security service can tell you that they've got it. All the security services we know that are better than us, that we could be maybe 20 years behind them or something, still find challenges of terrorism. You had terrorism within the time that we were, yes, within the time of the bomb blast. It happened in the UK, in Israel, everywhere. All those are countries that we know that have specialized technology that can help them detect such incidents. But no, literally I'm trying to say that no country can be spared from terrorism. If it is going to happen, it will eventually happen, but it shouldn't. It doesn't mean that the security services are just seated on their seats and doing nothing about it. In the past, we have always come up with updates ever since the bomb blast happened, informing you of the number of persons that have been arrested, and informing you on the number of items, yes, that we have recovered, bomb-making materials.
That's true, there's been transparency.
A lot of guns have been recovered. A lot of, there's also another suicide bomb suspect who was diverted from carrying out this heinous act also. Yes. So we have tried to make sure that Ugandans are safe, and also Ugandans have tried to make sure that they inform us of anything that is peculiar, anything that is out of the normal within their localities, within their business areas, and the police has always responded. So what is important is the security agencies, the security in Uganda, to make sure that they are in partnership with Ugandans and make sure that whatever they do, there is accountability of what is happening, and Ugandans should on a daily basis or even any time given be given assurances of what the security is doing. And that is what we are trying to do, making sure that Ugandans are informed on what we are doing, and also making sure Ugandans know the threats that are around us. As we talk right now, in Chiboga, 2 of our officers were gunned down at a police station. So you can imagine the kind of people we are dealing with, People will come at a police station pretending to be needing help. And when you try to help them, they pull out guns and shoot you.
Yeah.
And also take the guns that are available. So we all need to be on the lookout. If you have people in your localities that are really, that you suspect, please bring that information forward. You never know if that could save a life. These guns that are being taken from Uganda police and our police officers killed, you never know, tomorrow they can use that same gun.
For armed robbery.
For an armed robbery, or probably it's a rebel group, who knows, and to inflict pains on other Ugandans. So we need to work together to make sure that all these crimes that are available, that are surrounding us, are worked on.
And putting that into account and consideration, what is the plan of the police to work with other security agents to ensure countrywide safety, public safety, especially during this festive season and beyond, of course?
We have always had that plan. Currently, if you're to go on many roundabouts within the city, we have twinned very well with the UPDF, and we do twinned patrols, both foot and motorized. We do have what we would call interagencies, where intelligence is shared amongst us. We get to know the threats that may be towards us, and we act accordingly. We also get to know threats that are aimed towards our brothers. We share that information with them. So those synergies have always been available, and we won't stop, because to make sure that Uganda is safe, like we are appealing to Ugandans to work with us, the security agencies have always done that, and we are hopeful it has helped us, and it will keep on helping us to make sure that we fight crime within the country.
Well, you've had that, you know. Please adhere to all the security measures and SOPs of COVID-19 as well. If you're not doing it for yourself, at least do it for God and your country, you know. But sir, I would like to know, since it's Christmas, how are you spending your Christmas? How is the police spending their Christmas? Are they going to take turns to take breaks, or?
We have passed a message within to all our territorial commanders within the country, informing them that there is a leave embargo from the time that was stipulated up to January 30th. So there is a leave embargo for us, so people will be busy at work.
Yeah.
But our families, of course, will enjoy Christmas. We shall make sure that everything is provided to them within the barracks, food, and make sure that safety and all of that. We are hopeful our families will enjoy Christmas, although for us we will be busy at work making sure the lives of Ugandans and their property are well protected.
Oh, that is so reassuring. I mean, aren't you feeling reassured at home or at work? Well, the festive season, like I said, is upon us, and we have had the spokesperson of Kampala Metropolitan Police. Sir, what is your parting shot to Ugandans about the festive season this morning as we wrap it up?
My parting shot is that I want to thank God for everyone that has made it up to this time, and also thank God that He will make us make through this year. Just a few days left for us to finish the year. But also want to thank Ugandans for the support they've given us within this year, and also call upon Ugandans to keep working with us. We know Uganda Police and other agencies, there will be times where some friction will be exhibited, will be seen, but that shouldn't make you say that you won't put the security of your country first. That should always come first as a Ugandan, making sure that everything in Uganda is well protected. Report the corrupt, because at the end of the day, they are playing with your country. Report all our officers that you deem to be corrupt, all our officers that you see are not matching with our guidelines that were laid out very well in the Police Act. And we are hopeful that we will work together, but there should be respect for one another.
Yes.
We are calling upon police officers to also make sure that we respect the public, because that is the most important thing. When a Ugandan is alive, he will put up a business, this business will be taxed, and the same tax will come back to us, the police, to make sure that we are paid salaries and we are dressed very well. So there should be mutual respect for one another, and likewise the officers will be in position to give the service back to the Ugandans. So it is a cycle, and at the end of the day, we all need each other. We should keep this relationship going so that for the betterment of our country and the development of our country.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much for that insight, Afande. And Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you for making the time to come down here and, to tell us what will be going on the security front and the COVID-19 front during this festive season. Yes, well, that is all we had for you on the Twitter Jabs Part 2 this morning. But do not go anywhere, because next on is Sarah, and she's got a surprise for you. Don't blink.